Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. A woman in her 30s remains in a critical condition in the John Hunter Hospital after being found unresponsive in a Central Coast townhouse. Police made the discovery in Walmsley Road at Arimba yesterday. A 48-year-old man is assisting police with their inquiries. Hunter home buyers will be sweating on the Reserve Bank as it weighs up increasing interest rates for the 13th time since May last year. The RBA will have to consider a range of conflicting economic issues. While inflation is moderating, other data reveals a rebound in the property sector and an increase in lending. Mortgage broker Mark Burris from Yellow Brick Road says some households are hurting.
Unfortunately, I don't believe mortgage holders are the ones that are spending all the money, because the mortgage holders are the ones who, and borrowers, business borrowers as well, they're the ones who are copping all the heat. So I don't really think it's a very fair outcome right now where we sit.
More than a dozen Newcastle venues will no longer be restricted by tough licensing laws. Emma McFadden has the story.
The so-called Newcastle solution introduced in 2008 included limited trading hours in a bid to reduce alcohol-fuelled violence and antisocial behaviour. The restrictions were lifted during a government trial in 2021. The rules have been permanently scrapped for 15 venues in Newcastle and Hamilton with the goal of boosting Newcastle's nighttime economy. Newcastle community advocate Dr Tony Brown has slammed the changes as a recipe for disaster, fearing a return to the bad old days.
A new survey out today shows the majority of regional voters, including in the Hunter, are likely to vote no when the Voice referendum is held later this year. The survey by Australian community newspapers, which includes the Newcastle Herald, questioned more than 10,000 voters in Canberra, Newcastle and regional towns in New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania. It found 57% of regional voters said they were likely to vote no, with only 35% said they would vote yes. The majority of respondents feel the government has not done enough to explain the Voice to the community. Some of the Hunter's most successful Indigenous athletes are being honoured at NAIDOC celebrations across Newcastle this week. This year's theme, For Our Elders, is being acknowledged at events at Newcastle Museum, James Street Plaza and the city's libraries. And Newcastle councillor Deanna Richardson says some of the most well-known First Nations rugby league players are among those being celebrated.
I would also really encourage people to go along and check out the Koori Knockout exhibition, which is on in the Lovett Gallery at Newcastle Library, and that's looking at the history in photographs of the Koori Knockout, which began in the 70s, I believe, and is now the biggest rugby league carnival in the world.
Work on dredging the Swansea Channel could start in a matter of weeks after the state government obtained environmental approval. However, there's still one more hurdle to jump over. Crown Lands needs to issue a licence for the work to begin. The plan is to remove 30,000 cubic metres of sand in 2 dredging rounds this year and next autumn. It's hoped work on the first round can start this month once a tender is approved.
2NURFM Sport.
Lake Macquarie 6-time world champion cliff diver Rhiannon Ifland has claimed another victory to extend her dominance. The 31-year-old defeated Canadian rival Molly Carlson at the Italian Red Bull circuit to secure her 23rd win in the past 24 events. Ifland says she's ready to come home after a whirlwind of victories.
Most definitely, I'm going to take a few days and just go surfing or hang out with the family, just completely disconnect, because I find that really important.
The Knights are racing to re-sign Bradman Best after his selection in the New South Wales squad for Origin 3. The 21-year-old was a shock inclusion in Brad Fittler's side, which saw 7 players dropped. Best will become a free agent on November 1, with 1 year left on his contract, with multiple clubs set to throw their name in the ring for the centre. And Lachlan Scorse, the grandson of late legendary Newcastle jockey Alan Scorse, took his first race win yesterday at Muswellbrook aboard Rockbarton Roman. And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 7, 18, 23, 29, 36 and 41, and the supplementaries are 21 and 24. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.